I want to start by introducing you to a site that we're going to be using throughout this course. And it's this one, hackyourselffirst.troyhunt.com. You may have seen this in some of my other Pluralsight courses because I use it extensively to demonstrate risks in websites. Now this is publicly accessible. You can go here right now and reproduce some of the things that I do throughout this course. The basic premise of this site is that you can rate the supercars that you like the best. So it has all sorts of functionality that you would expect from a site of this nature. So for example, you can go and register. Once you're registered, you can log in. Once you're logged in, you can then vote on a car. Let's go and take a look at the leaderboard and we'll see which ones are the most popular. At the moment, it is the Nissan that's leading. Let's drill down and take a look at the Nissan. And as we can see in the message to the left of the screen, I can log in to vote for this car. That's the basic premise of the site. There are a few other features that are hidden behind the login, and yet more that are hidden in places that you, acting as an ethical hacker, can discover by probing this site. And if you really want to discover what those are, go and check out a course like Hack Yourself First, How to Go on the Cyber Offense, and it will tell you exactly where these risks are and how to discover them. For now though, that's all I wanted to do in my introduction, because now I want to move on and use this site to start crawling, enumerating, and traversing directories. Now I'm only going to touch briefly on these concepts because I do go into them in detail in the Ethical Hacking Web Applications course. But I do want to recap on them briefly here as well because they're an important part of hacking web servers. So to begin with, crawling. This is simply the process of going through the website and figuring out what the contents of it are. Let me jump over to NetSparker and show you how it crawled this site in the Hacking Web Applications course. So this is NetSparker, which is a great dynamic analysis tool. You simply point it at a URL, such as hackyourselffirst.troyhunt.com, and then click the Go button and it will go and find vulnerabilities for you. Now as part of that, it crawls the site. And sometimes you'll see crawling referred to as spidering as well. And what you can see on the left-hand side of the screen here under the sitemap is the site structure that it's built up as part of that crawling exercise. As we scroll down through the list here, you'll see a very typical site structure. So here are a bunch of resources it's found on the site. Perfect example here. There's an areas folder, which has a help page folder, which has a helppage.css file. Now crawling gives the attacker the ability to see how that site is put together and where they might want to focus their efforts. So for example, if we scroll up just a little bit, we can see that there is a folder called secret, which contains a folder called admin. I, as an ethical hacker, would find that a very interesting place to start looking further. So that's crawling, just simply creating a sitemap of the target. Another approach is enumeration. Let me go and show you what that looks like. Enumeration is the concept of stepping through a whole bunch of resources which you believe may be on the site and then seeing which ones actually exist. Now you might often see this also referred to as forced browsing, and in the Ethical Hacking Web Applications course, I use this tool, Burp Suite. And what we're looking at here is the result that I find when I run an enumeration attack over a list of possible resources that I'd like to discover on the site. And in fact, when I ran this, I found several interesting things. So for example, I checked to see if there was a file called backup.zip in the root of the site, and sure enough, here it is. There's also database.zip, and there is also database.back. All of these resources were found on the site when I ran Burp Suite over a known set of paths which often exist in websites. The attacker may not specifically know that this resource actually exists on the site, but tools like Burp can automatically check. And in this case, all of those have an HTTP 200 response, so an OK response, a resource was found and returned. Plus, we can see that the content lengths are quite lengthy. So certainly these files actually have some size to them. They probably are exactly what the file names suggest they are. So that's enumeration. Let's go and take a look at another one that I cover in that course, and that's directory traversal. In that Hacking Web Applications course, I identify a risk in one of the resources on the website that allows you to specify a file name to be returned in the HTTP response. Now, in that course, we were returning a report, and you'd give the report file name and the web application would serve it up over the web. However, what I covered in that course is that if we change the file name to traverse back up through the directory structure, I could actually pull other files from anywhere else on the operating system. And what you're seeing here when you look at the URL is you're seeing me traverse into the Windows directory and then grab the system ini file. It's not that system ini is that valuable to the attacker, but it shows how system files can be pulled just by modifying the path in the query string. So directory traversal is an enormously powerful attack. And if you want to know more about how that works, or crawling or enumeration for that matter, go and check out that Hacking Web Applications course. Let's now move on and take a look at something totally new, and that's mirroring websites.